Hi, everybody. Can you feel the winds of change coming in very, very fast now? And people feel something within that is already changing like on an automatic pilot, which is should be somehow when being in alignment with the divine, with the sources, the forces, everything that is out there, and coming also into term with your true purpose, because purpose is everything in this world. Without purpose, we got lost. Without purpose, we don't feed the self and we just take from the outer world, while everything needs to break through from the inner light into the outer world. Meaning, at this time, the phoenix is rising. The phoenix has all the energetics we could possibly imagine to thrive, to move on, to purify, and to acknowledge, to recognize that the living light worlds, all the galaxies, everything that has ever been created is now merging with this platform. And that is a huge turnaround, of course. And on the other side, it's a time to truly comprehend what is going on, because without understanding, we cannot go far. It's about understanding your universal capacities, your universal faculties, your alignment to the divine that never wavers. When being in alignment and uploading new alignments at least once a week, because that is how fast we are moving. And so I think a lot of people are opening up into their higher senses. They sense things, and at times it's difficult to decipher, to place it. So then there's only alignment to the divine, and understanding what alignment is everything, because it's understanding your vortex, it's understanding your energy field, it is being capable of deciphering outer energy fields. It's the knowledge that is coming through of how to align and never ever allow dense worlds that do not actually stream on living light to enter your equation. Because if we do, then chances are that the brain, the body, consciousness, your alignment is getting broken in the old filaments, actually, or the golden meridians opening up into malfunctioning. And instead, we can choose to open up our meridian system that clicks in all the universes, all the galaxies, and allow them to shine through while being in unity. Unity is something that is not easily understood, because in unity you can have no opinion, you can have no judgment, you can have only the highest vibration in joy. And people start to understand that joy is very, very important. Being in joy with what you're doing, being in joy with creation, manifesting every day. This means that the universe will bring two ideas to the brain right now for those opening up into the universal light worlds that have the capacity to join in on many, many platforms of unification, because it is happening throughout all universes and all galaxies. So the airplane, well, it changes its vortex, we need to change our vortex with it. And so I witnessed myself that my vortex changes like every day. And there is days you feel it very, very well. So fitness is definitely mandatory here. It's just like a daily elixir, just like you take your food, like the water you need to drink to keep the healthy vibes circulating all the way up, and also understanding what is coming through for you. And so the best way to do that is always light coding the self. Invite the light codes, invite Enochian light codes that are the highest levels of light codes. Invite deities from the celestial omni realms or masters to assist you. Invite the archangelic kingdoms and to bring that through, because at least we need to match up where their vibration comes to the lowest, and that is definitely the eternal planes. We are eternal beings going into immortality, into the omni-beyond embodiment. That is a big black universe you can see in the back screen that opens up every light configuration, that opens up your artistic design. We are all pieces of art, and we are made out of volumes of living light conglomerates. So there are units of energies that make up a code. And oftentimes when we align to our light body, celestial, universal, and into the beyond, and start to understand that we have to bring all of that together from birth on, bring out or evaporate that consciousness that was placed upon our brains and move beyond the astral planes, because the astral planes make you sick. The astral planes have the capacity to actually invade your energy field, kill your energy field, make you sick, and so much more. It is where all the diseases come from, actually, and all the malfunctioning. And so we are overriding it with all our light. So knowledge about light, at least the 22 first ways of creation, gives you the capacity to generate and regenerate your own design, your own energy field. And that is when it comes interesting, because when we get in meditation, it's important to just focus on one question, like where or what do you need help with? And when you understand that one question is very important, you focus upon that. You focus on what will be the outcome, what you need to bring into action in order for your truth to up level. Because most of the time, when things do not manifest the way we wish, chances are, or if not 99% of it, it means we do not actually allow the higher level of truth in our energy field. If we have a house piled with old stuff and it takes years to clean that, then the energy field may be completely off and not in alignment. We can align to the divine as much as we want. By the way, I change my house every single 3 months, every season actually. I cannot stand it, and it proves my upgrades into the Phoenix rising, into the universal self, because that is what your passion keeps on going. And so the universe gave me the assignments to bring through light codes after light codes, because it's the easiest way to bring into an already established light body. So if you have your light body and you upgrade into the house of light, that is your Shambhala self, and all the ways go into the universal dragon rays, from the Shambhala rays to higher universal galaxies, then we can connect to spaceships, and we can connect to other communities in the universe we may have forgotten. But then again, there's the education into knowledge, there's the education in to intelligence, there is the education in how to integrate your light codes, which is what I do especially. So here, most know by now, I created that new oracle deck, the Eye of the Divine, light codes that brings through all universal ways of creation. And these light codes seem to be very important, especially at this crucial time, because many people are afraid to align to certain particles and light waves that are foreign to them. And so I would suggest to definitely tap into that, like the fluorescent rays, like copper waste, like diamond waste, like gemstone waste especially are very, very important. It's not enough to wear the gemstones. It's also being requested by the divine to open up the ways connected to the gemstone, connected to the country these particular beauties were born upon, connected to eventually mountains, connection to the elements. And when you bring all of these together and you wave them through, let's say, I have here a yellow gemstone. I have a lot of turquoise. I have the moonstone. I have a very big aquamarine working with me all of the time. But I also have, this is my aquamarine. No, let's see. But I also was directed, and that was so fabulous. That's a new code I need to bring to. There's an icosahedron. And the divine, or at least I received this particular code in my pituitary by alignment to the keys of Enoch. I'm sure most know the book, The Keys of Enoch from Hertak, but we're moving beyond that book. There is a lot of information, very important, but a lot of information needs to be upgraded because we are in evolution and thus change. Things change every day. I'm sorry. And thus, this particular icosahedron can help anyone who has difficulty with eliminating old attachment, old habits, and especially allow the self. Oh, my cards were falling. I'm sorry. I got them here. So allow all the rainbow waves through this particular and put that in your pituitary gland in the middle of the brain and focus, breathe on through until you feel the vortex. A vortex of living light need to be felt in the body in order to have a very beneficial meditation. If you don't feel the vortex moving when I breathe in through, I feel it like but more faster than my backbone. So if I feel the pulses through my feet, it comes to the body, it comes to the alignment to 0 point balance. It comes to what I align to presently is I'm teaching myself about the Phoenix rising, the Phoenix grid. And it all comes down actually to the rising or what once was or what the betrayal factors tried to kill and is not to be killed ever. And that is the nucleus of creation of this earth, still running to the South Pacific Ocean. And that opens up with the wings of fire into the wings of the phoenix and so forth. So there is an eternal alignment, an eternal staff that needs to come true. There is your self-empowerment because self-empowerment was completely cut off. Reason why most people did not manifest has been in restoration during the past 6 months. And so the red way comes into the equation when you are ready for your self-empowerment, when you take yourself into the next vortex, when you take responsibility to upgrade your breath where you feel the vortexes. Because with every breath, if you don't feel the vortex, alignment is off. That is something to truly take into account, measure upon, open up the breath of source, the breath into the celestial omni self, the breath into the universal dragon waves, the breath of the eternal living light etheric self is the ultimate goal. And so, of course, teaching light body and upgrading every month through it brings through manifestation results because that is being requested right now. And thus, when we start to understand how manifestation works, we get light code after light code. I just love this, baby. um, so here, truth is still something very difficult for people to digest, especially if you pull through the blue flame of truth through the pituitary along this particular icosahedron. You don't have to have that crystal. You can just imagine it, right? And when you imagine it and you invite that blue truth and you sit with it at least 10 minutes and invite what you need to face in order to get better results in manifestation. And at times they are massive. So I've seen massive people seeing upgrading and upgrading. Then again, they're doing the work or they're taking my courses and some just, upgrade once every 2 or 3 years. That doesn't particularly measure up with what the universes are requesting. I choose this background here especially because these are the ways that are very important at this time for transition of the muscular content, for transition of the heart. For the first time, the heart will start to open up when the throat and the brain has merged. The heart center coming in with eternity, eternal flames, eternal measures, eternal technologies. And these are technologies that equate um, like applications on your iPhone. So it's very, very modernized, quite naturally. The old applications or sigils or codes will not work because we are in the evolution and the old masters grounded already on the planet. So you don't have to seek for them all the way into the skies, if you will. They are right here for those opening into the eye of the divine. And thus, the eye of the divine is quite a very strong education that takes weeks and months, but with every upgrade, it becomes more fun and you start to see clearer by the day. And so, opening truth, going into the eye of the divine, opening and facing the self, that is where the platform, the crystalline grid of truth measures or brings divine timing into manifest form. So if manifestations do not happen, chances are there's a lot in your brain to be evaporated, eliminated, whatever you term it. It comes down to where we allow the self to do the work, and daily, not weekly, would not be enough. Daily alignments, at least in the morning and at night, and opening up the furthering, the breadth, the vortexes, because if we are, performing a job, we are at the job, we are in the hood, we are in the supermarket, we are wherever, it doesn't matter. If you don't feel the vortex 24/7, then the old worlds or that are trying to defeat the light world still on lesser and lesser degrees because they cannot upload all the way into the eternal vibrations because it has never been killed, and thus people aligning to it are untouchable. Actually, you become untouchable, and that is where you want to be in order to be able to manifest the way of the divine, of course. So let's get a few cards here, or a few light cards, and see what happens for the incoming time. Yeah, I love this. This is definitely a completion. This is card number 55. 55 equals 10 equals plane 10. This is the ultimate goal. I've been talking about it. So that is the lady that opened up the golden eternal flame here. She has the eternal spiral in her hands, and she is carrying the red sword, the red wave flame, that is actually the grounder of any manifestation. And she rises all the way into the celestial realms while having built up. The dark purple represents the spiritual body, the spiritual realms that moves beyond the density or anything lower than plane 5, 6. So she's definitely opening up into plane 8, that is the eternal plane. She has the gold eternal body. She's been working on creating light particles. You see these particles building up the body. And that is one of the most important scores to become one with, because also she carries the eternal spiral through her hand. The eternal spiral defeats or parts the old waters we have all been swimming. And when you part the waters, you defeat the control system, you defeat any invasion. So this is really the last card, that is the completion card in the entire deck, because we are at the verge of many, many completer energies fusing, coming together, bringing a better outcome when we choose to get there. So let me get another one. I love that. And light codes are easy to work with, because all you have to do is you reclaim it, you become it, and another one. I mean, could it get better? You're being requested. This is completion. This is moving on. It's number 24. Creates a 6. A 6 is an eternal spiral. 9, 6. It becomes 9, becomes 6. 6 is the grounder, opens up into the 9, becomes actually your eternal immortal line back into the divine. Here, another completion. In a way, this is the entire tree of life that is in the back and the front of the body. So we have all these colors in the energy field, at least those who educated themselves into light body and are working with all 22 colors. So here the Phoenix Rising opens all these colors, that is the light body, opening up with all the higher refined ways, such as turquoise, such as the amethyst way, the copper way, and opening that into the invisible training, which is everything, invisible turquoise and white, and the cream ivory way remains the most important thing. So again, the divine is asking you to bring to a completion, at least setting the self in a complete light body, even when working with languages of light and toning the 22 Hebrew letters, connected to the 22 seraphims of the tree of life, will keep you intact to any dense invasion. And that is very important. So I have one more to bring through that triangular equation. Always pull 3 cards. Meaning of it is that we want to move from duality 1, 2 into triangular equation. That is the perfection the universe brought through in the beginning, and thus we are moving into 0, 1, 2, finding our balance back here. And that is most important, because if we don't open up all light within, then it becomes very difficult for people to rise with the phoenix, to rise with themselves in the eternal equations, and also allow the self to move faster on a faster track, faster imagination, holding on to imagination, and especially working on the breath of light. So, and when we work upon the breath of light, we become the creator self, because upgrading the breath comes from clearing the lungs, the pulmonary arteries, the lower abdomen arteries, opening up the vortex, especially in the amethyst spiritual body. That is one of the higher ways that could go over months. So that is really coming through here with more or less the training in the spiritual body that comes through my 2 seminars I call the House of the Rising Sun. So the card here matching up again is very important. That will always come back again and again. We see male, female arcs of energy connected to the creator self in the sacral. And then in the middle, we have the purple for really deep eyelid vortexes, actually, that is connected to all the elements making up the body, the elements that need a new vortex, the elements that need rejuvenation, regeneration. We go out into living light particles. Remember that we are light waves. And once you remember you are light waves, you become this particular design. And that is a deep orange with the deep purple, that is the amethyst spiritual body that goes from the celestial body into the omni-spiritual body, into the universal spiritual body, and starts off at where you're at right now. So that particular education is very, very important, especially as it also has the spiral of 6969. The number 6 is pretty clear. And if you get these three cards all together, then it's obvious in order to make a completion, to start manifesting, we need to open up the creator wave opening to the sacral. The sacral is connected to the frontal lobe. That is where you start to see. And that can only be done when having installed a tiger's eye crystalline grid, because that is the training for opening the eye of the divine, for merging the pineal with the pituitary, the amygdala, for merging many other dormant glands that need to come back to the surface. This is very, very much important, as well as truly loading the tree of life every day. That just may take 5 minutes or even less. I, for example, do it while toning the Hebrew letters that are connected to every seraphot, to every sphere of light, if you will. And that brings you back into the reality of the cosmos, the reality of being an eternal being, the reality of going beyond, into the omni, beyond eternal planes, even, because we have that capacity. We have spaceships. We have to understand that once we become light waves again, we can take our flight into the phoenix and really start to communicate through light communication. So let's say 99% of the population did not align ever to light communication because it was not accessible. Is going to open up in the incoming 3 months. That's another thing. So here, with each card, we can do a very deep meditation. So with these cards, if you want them, the Eye of the Divine Oracle deck comes my book. And with each card, we have a deep explanation. There is an invocation, there is a meditation, there is the alignment, there is the explanation. So that goes all together with your particular training, because here in the book it says it's the entrance of this first golden age. So when aligning to it, you align to the eternal vibration, you align to the galaxy, you align to the back of each card. That is the universe opening up the pineal gland here. The pineal gland has the capacity to open the golden sphere, and that creates 4 arcs of consciousness. Arc regeneration, we are all arcing or bridging our light back into where we came from. And so bridging that light goes a long way. So here, it's called the gold eternal treasures, connected to the eternal breath, connected to the rise of the lady. The lady is here to rise. And so the eternal, I'm reading from the book, the eternal treasures rise from the heart of all there is into the heart of the self. May those who gaze upon this code remember the gold within their own design. May the eternal breath rise, and so flowing beyond the limits of form into the freedom of your spirit self. So may lady and gentlemen merge as one, restoring dignity, balance, and luminous quality, equality to this earth. And may the eye of the divine awaken in every heart to see, to breathe, and to live as light eternal. So that is really great because especially also for those who do not know how to work in meditation, you can do the invocations that are in the book. And wise forward quite naturally for those already doing my deeper onlines and even the seminars. I think, like for myself, it's great to just pull one card or three cards a day and revisit what you learned and take that in a simpler form, yet work deeper with that simplified form. Having already integrated a lot of knowledge and invocation, this should be like um, a memory opening up that we are loading right now as we are opening all that memory within. Quite naturally, it will come with the colors in the scenes behind me. And these are the colors less understood. These are the colors that are the most important, and also because creation grounds with these colors. It comes down to the heart of spirit, the divine heart merging into the source of all sources, which opens up the eternal flame that needs to flame through the entire vehicle, the entire energy field. So that's quite a lot. So take it one day at a time. Educate yourself. What are you going to do with the entire tree of life, with all the colors to the energy field? You can breathe them through if you have your light body education, or you can do the light body education via my website. And especially ponder on this. Why is the creator self? You can see both arcs. They arc through the womb of creation. They arc with a black omni universe. Creation comes first through the orange ray, but then it blows through billions of invisible rainbow colors, actually, and reason why the deep violet purple vortex needs to come through in order to bring this design to completion. And this goes with the opening into the Phoenix rising. So something to ponder upon is, where are you at with your truth? Are you changing every day? Is your house changing every day? Are you thinking in different manners? Do you allow new perspective in your philosophy, your psychology? And definitely working with many different radio waves, depending on where you're at, or like moving in with the immortal waves, with the eternal waves. There's many ways, but here you can see you need that knowledge. If you open up the waves of higher knowledge, which comes to the green way, are you capable of opening the green emerald way? Are you capable to open up just a green way? What is the level? And once you understand that so many interesting things come through when you open your channel and get your own light codes through, or just work your way with the eye of the divine light coding, and which is great for everybody at any age to start out anything, because it will make you realize what you can work with and why it is so important that, as the body is made up of meridians, and meridians have the capacity to allow light waves through them, that is how you rebuild and build the body into a new living light form. I hope this was helpful and makes you understand a lot more. Feel free to go on to my blog, my website for more information, or if you want this universal package of light codes, and the book is also available on Amazon. Hop on to my website and just check it out, I would say. Thank you for being with me. See you in the next weeks.